Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about My 600-Pound Life, Season 12, Episode 7, Charles' Journey.
We are all caught up now.
Yes.
We was one episode behind, but we are all caught up. Subscribe, like, share, all the above. Let's see here. We are still doing the 1 pound an episode challenge. This is where you lose a pound to the number of episodes it is. So far, it's 7 episodes, I believe. So that's just 7 pounds.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I think everybody can lose 7 pounds between now and the next episode.
I've lost my 7.
Well, congratulations, man. hopefully there'll be 8th and 9th, 10th.
Okay.
Since it's so easy for you. You always got that one kid in the class like, I got my homework. Okay. Congratulations. Okay, you ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Walk us through it.
So Charles, the age was a bit confusing. The show showed 29, but when he talked to Dr. Now, he said he was 31. So he's ranging from 29 to 31.
Wow, we already started with some controversy. Let's go.
And he is located in Everett, Washington.
Okay.
So he wakes up crying.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, man.
Sad, right?
But I was like, I think this is the fire in his belly that I think is going to take him where he needs to be. I was like, he waking up crying.
Okay.
So I'm like, I think he's done with how he's living.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we will see. He tells us he gets short of breath when walking to the bathroom from his bedroom, which is only about 15 steps. Mm-hmm. He says his body feels like a prison. He has a caretaker who bathes him that was actually his mother's caretaker before.
Yeah.
And he also has his brother who's a caretaker who that's his actual job and he gets paid to be his caretaker.
Is there a difference between, or basically, is it the same thing? I keep hearing the term caretaker and caregiver.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we see him get bathed. Mm-hmm. So what he has to do is lean over the side of the tub, and the caregiver, the lady, comes and washes his back and washes his body. His brother actually doesn't do the cleaning portion, but she washes him every day.
Yeah. He
uses the bathroom himself, but he can't wipe very well.
Okay.
But he tells us he showers every day. So I think he's trying to tell us he's clean, even though he can't wipe.
Okay.
That's debatable.
If water didn't hit it the first day, I don't think it gonna hit it the same way. But okay, I hear you.
Right. Well, for breakfast, the caregiver cooks his breakfast, and she asks him, "What do you want?" So she's just going off of his requests. He asked for 5 scrambled eggs, cheese and biscuits, 7 sausages.
7.
Mm-hmm. He lives with his sister, his sister's boyfriend, and his brother, and he lives there for free.
Okay.
He comes from a really big family. His mom was actually a drug addict.
Yeah.
She took the kids to California. They were living elsewhere at first because she was scared that the dad's grandparents were going to try to get custody of the kids because she was on drugs.
Yeah.
He spent a lot of his time with his mother's mom. The grandma showed him a lot of love through baking. She would cook not just a dozen cookies, but 6 dozen cookies and just leave them out on the counter for anybody to have as they please.
Okay, 6 dozens. Now that's a lot of cookies.
Now, I will say he was part of a big family, so I imagine there was a lot of kids, but then we also have to think, do those kids need to be having that many cookies?
Listen, if it's a big family, okay, I cook cookies today. Everybody gets a cookie.
Right.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? So if there is 12 people in the house, if there's even at most a cookie and a half.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
But basically just leaving it open, unassigned. You get what I'm saying? And this is the way that she expressed love. So he wanted to feel love during his time and during this hard time of his life, especially with his mother on drugs and things like that.
Yeah. Well, he was 180 pounds in middle school. His mom got with another guy, and she ended up having twins. He enjoyed his family growing up. He taught his brother how to ride a bike and how to swim. In high school, he was hitting 250 to 300 pounds.
Okay, football.
That's when he also started getting into drugs.
Oh, man, I'm thinking sports.
No. His mom threw him on the streets. He moved in with his grandparents. After graduating high school, when his grandmother found out he was doing drugs, she kicked him out.
Now, what is your thoughts on that? I need your thoughts on that.
I'm just thinking a lot of trauma from a very young age. And I also think it's wild for the mom to do drugs. And I can understand, especially if she is on a recovery journey of not wanting somebody using in her house. I don't know if that's the case. But for you to raise a child up in a situation to where addiction is so common, it's kind of wild to me that you wouldn't be there for them if they succumb to the same issue you have.
You even kidnapped me, kind of.
Right.
And ran me across the country.
Yeah. So just learning that was just kind of like a, whoa, he ended up on the street and he was raised in this family to where this was kind of commonplace in a way. Yeah. So I was a little bit shocked to hear that.
Yeah. Hopefully the mother was clean during this time. Because if she kicked him out, when she wasn't completely clean, that would be wild. Yeah, that'd be hypocritical. That you would be a hypocrite in my eyes. It just seems sad in a way because you just can't kick somebody out. You have to, especially if you've been a drug addict yourself. I would think that you would do everything in your power, especially if you're clean, to exert all your energy, exert all your resources to help your son through this process the same way as someone may have helped you. I can understand if you are completely off of drugs and you're clean and you like, I need you away because you're going to make me backslide into this life that I'm from. But it just seemed like everybody wiped their hands clean of him. Yeah. And I don't even know outside of his mother which one had the bigger impact. Was it the mother or the grandmother? Because the grandmother was the one that expressed her love through cookies and through baking and through things like that, taking them in and taking care of them. And now if mother betrayed me, I could always go to Mima. Right. And now Mima is saying, no, you can't come to Mima's house. So it's kind of hard to decipher how hard it was. But I can imagine it probably was really hard on him. Yeah. So he was homeless. Yeah. And there was a situation to where he was waking up and somebody was attacking him, essentially. And that's what caused him to want to really get out of his situation. When somebody was attacking him because he couldn't move very well, he was homeless on the street, and they took it as an opportunity to attack somebody. Well, a former teacher helped him get back to Washington. He got caught with some meth. He went to jail. Some friends that he went to high school with their parents ended up helping him with getting into a rehab. And by the time he was in rehab, he was 350 to 400 pounds. Wow. Then he was 600 to 700 pounds when he lived in affordable housing. After rehab, he lived next to a fast food place. So I just wanted to touch on that in a lot of these communities, like when we're talking about food deserts and stuff like that, it is darn near impossible for a lot of people to find healthy options. And even if they do, the healthy option might be like wilted spinach or super overripe bananas. And they're like, if I want something, a bang for my buck that's going to get me full, I could walk across the street to the McDonald's, or I could take an Uber, which is going to cost me $10 to the grocery store. Yeah. So, yeah. Any thoughts about that progression? Okay. The sister said that everyone in the family has tried drugs. Okay. The brother doesn't care what his brother weighs. He just wants him to live as long as he can. That's nice of him. He's scared that he could lose his brother any day. That's noble of him. To me, that's double-sided. Because I'm just like, so do you really want him to lose the weight? Because I feel like the brother is saying, I love him regardless. But it doesn't seem like the brother is really behind the weight loss. It doesn't sound like he's seeing it as dire as I would think a caregiver would see it. Let's be real. He's not a real caregiver. I know he got that title and he may even get a check that says this amount of money and it may say caregiver on top, but he's not a caregiver. Okay. And things of that nature. And that would be proven down the line to where he's doing his own diet. And I would think a caregiver would read the packet so they would know what to give you. Right. And he would see that protein shakes is not in the diet. Yeah. So I respect him only because you have to understand the background, Blair, is that he was bullied, he was teased, he didn't have friends, he don't go outside, and basically this is not only his caregiver, this is not only his brother, this is his best friend. So I can't be your best friend and your caregiver. Because I couldn't be your friend as your caregiver because I'm going to tell you to do what you need to do. Because a friend says, I love you no matter what. I'm with you no matter what. A caregiver kind of holds you accountable. Or you would think that they will hold you accountable that will keep you alive. So when he's speaking as a brother. He's speaking as a best friend and things like that. He's like, I love him no matter what. You get what I'm saying? Because he have seen that no one loved him. He have seen him be homeless. He have seen him been on drugs. He has seen him go to jail. So it's kind of hard for him to juggle those hats.
Right.
That's why you don't wear more than one hat. If you seen somebody walking down the street and they got 3 hats on, you would say you look foolish. So many times than not, you don't really want someone who is that on the inside. Many times than not. Now, don't get it wrong. A lot of us are caregivers to our loved ones and things like that. But if you do have the resources to not be the caregiver, it will help to not juggle so many hats at one time. And the brother is just juggling too many hats. So it bleeds over. Yeah. The brother bleeds over to the caregiver. The caregiver bleeds over to the best friend. And they all sound the same. Mm-hmm.
Well, they are getting ready to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So he ends up sitting on the ground of the van to be able to drive to the grocery store. His family doesn't bring up his food addiction to him. He thinks it's because that they think he'll get sensitive about it. Okay. So when we see them at the store, before they left, they talked about things that they needed to get. They said they needed bread, eggs, maybe some ribs to do some like smoking or grilling or something like that, and some barbecue sauce. We get there. I really didn't see any ribs go in there, but we did see lots of snacks, cakes, frozen food, and they did end up going to the meat aisle, and it was the brother at one point who said, okay, I think we're getting to our budget here. Because I was thinking like I always think with all these episodes, how do people afford to sustain this habit? Yeah. And I really think that for a lot of people, they're probably going into debt over this situation. And I mean, the brother was there to say, okay, we ain't got no more money, bro. So, yeah. Now, we are month 1 of Charles' weight loss journey. Yeah. He has a video call with Dr. Now. His car wasn't working, so he didn't have a way to actually get to Houston.
That's how they afford food.
So, we find out he's 5 feet tall, and he has been off of meth for 4 years. He was on it for 10. Dr. Now explains to him that he should weigh 100 pounds at his height.
Wow.
His brother brings him food. Dr. Now asks, does he give you food to keep his job as a caregiver? He says, no. Dr. Now says, instead of killing yourself with meth, you're killing yourself with food. So straight off the back, Dr. Now is just like, let's be for real here. He says he's been cutting back on his soda. Dr. Now says he'll have to get more mobile and move to Houston in order to be in the program. Charles says that he'll go down for the surgery, recovery there, and come back to Washington. He's not trying to move to Houston.
He said that's not how it works, though, man.
Yeah. His goals are to get a job, go camping, fit behind a steering wheel, and he wants to start a family of his own. He says his brother is going to go on the diet with him, so he's telling Dr. Now, no enablers.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Go ahead.
I think he did mention a goal of his is, didn't he say something in this scene about being a probational
yeah, that's the job. He wanted to work probation officer with teens
for troubled youth and things like that. I find that interesting, the fact that he went to jail. So that kind of maybe that made him see some things that made him go, because I wonder what people think when they are in jail. Because the one who is the murderer is in the same jail as the one that's the thief. Yeah. Who's in the same jail as the one who didn't pay child support. Who is in the same jail as the one who do drugs. So it kind of make you think, did he kind of go like, I want to help these people or these kids that I may run into in the jail. But even though he knows he's in jail for illegal drugs, it's kind of hard, I would think, that he view himself as a criminal.
All right.
Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Like he could think it's like a personal problem. Like I do drugs and it hurts me, but it's not like I'm hurting anybody else.
So to hear him say that he said he don't mind going back to school to be like a probational officer and something across those lines, if I'm getting the term right, to help troubled youth, I wonder where that came from. And the only thing I can link it to is probably his time in jail.
But also, I think just the way he grew up, he said he got into the wrong crowd. He was on drugs. So, I mean, he probably could have benefited from somebody in his life to pour into him and speak to him in order for him to prevent him from going down certain paths.
Possibly.
So I think even that would probably pour into that. So Yeah, so he says his brother's going to go on the diet with him. Dr. Now sends him the diet and the exercise program.
Yeah.
Dr. Now is going to set up a visit for a clinic for him to check his weights.
Yeah.
He will also need to be able to walk 5 to 10 minutes before he can come to Houston for a visit.
Yeah, whenever they say my family member is going to go on a diet with me, I don't believe them. I actually think, I saw Dr. Now's reaction when he said that. He looked like he didn't believe it either.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people really don't understand how strict that diet is. Mm-hmm. And just the normal person who is used to eating and things of that nature, yes, they may not eat 6,000 calories or 4,000 calories or something like that, but the restrictions is so strong in certain cases. I think in certain diets, I know one time when I was on keto, fruit is known as a healthy thing. You get what I'm saying? They say instead of candy, just get some fruit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or just like nobody would ever say anything bad to you if you walking down the street eating an apple.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On keto, I couldn't eat fruit. I had to really manage fruit. Like I could only have 2 chunks of watermelon because it was sugar and it would knock me out of my keto. So I don't think a lot of people on the outside of the ones that are in the trouble with the weight, is really like down to lose the weight with the people. I would believe him if he said my brother's going to exercise with me. Right. That's something that's more like, okay, he's going to walk with me. He's going to make sure I walk. But like, oh yeah, I'll go on a diet with you. You don't know what the diet is. Right. You get what I'm saying? And how strenuous it is. But yeah, continue.
Well, Charles is feeling good about the visit. He thinks things went well. Yeah. He says he's going to follow the program and he understands that this is life or death for him.
It is.
He has his brother bring him cans and make a bag in order for him to do his exercise with weights. Yeah. He says he's easing his way into it. He thinks he could have done more, but he just didn't. Okay. Dinner, he has roasted chicken and vegetables. He's still hungry after he eats, but he has basically decided that he's going to starve in order to get to where he needs to be. Okay. His brother stays with him and says he'll help him with his exercise regimen. Mm-hmm. We find out that he missed the appointment at the clinic because no one could take him and his car was still broken down.
Keep that in mind, guys. Keep going.
Month 4. His brother brings him a weight for his workout and also a protein shake. He says he's lifting more now. He's excited to see Dr. Now in person. He thinks Dr. Now is going to be proud of how strong he's become. He's been doing a lot of upper body workouts, not so much lower body, but he still hasn't found a way to get to the clinic. Only thing I want to say about that is, okay, we are diverting from the plan. What is going on with how strong you are? Is Dr. Now going to have you in some type of strength competition by the end of this? Or are we saying that you need to lose the weight? So already I'm just like, okay, we aren't focused at all. Well, excuse me. So he has a follow-up telemedicine call with Dr. Now. Dr. Now asks what happened with the clinic.
What happened?
And Dr. Now also couldn't get a hold of him.
Where you been?
He says he wanted to make progress and then call Dr. Now. Okay. He says he's having protein shakes for breakfast and lunch. Okay. Dr. Now asks, who said protein shakes was a good idea?
So this is your diet plan.
Dr. Now says that's not part of your diet. You didn't read the diet papers, did you?
No, he didn't.
Dr. Now says, why even call us to help? He says because he needs help losing the weight. When he loses weight, he'll have a better life. Dr. Now says, what better life? You don't work. You have a caregiver. You got Social Security. I don't see how you're going to change that. I mean, that sounds pretty cushy to me. Dr. Now says we can give you 3 months. You didn't change your diet or CS. Charles closed the laptop. He said, shut up with all that you talking, Dr. Now. I ain't trying to hear it.
I will say this. Next season, if there is a next season, I feel like we going to get a lot of new rules of, if you want to have an appointment with me, it will be in person. You will not do this to me ever again on TV, okay?
That would have me hot.
Listen, you out the program. I don't care. Because here's the thing about
I'm like, you call me and then you hang up on me, please.
People think that doctors, let me tell you something about doctors, because I play one in these reviews sometimes, right? Okay. People think doctors care about saving lives. No. That is the positive outcome of what they care about. They care about science. They care about like when Dr. Now is doing his surgery and things like that. That's what he likes. You get what I'm saying? Like, he likes the whole...
You can tell he enjoys his work.
He enjoys his work. So the whole, like, he's going to be proud of me, and he's going to...
I'm going to impress him.
That's the part of the job that people don't sign up for.
Like, that's for you.
Yes.
The weight loss is for you.
Yes.
And I'm happy for you and all that type of stuff. This is what you need to live. But my job is A to Z.
Yeah, and I love
the byproduct is for you.
I love looking at x-rays. I love looking at charts. I love doing surgeries. I love diets. I love things like that. And you are the effect of it. Basically, you are the positive outcome that hopefully positive.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm going to still do my job.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So the whole thing that he's making it a more personal interaction more than it really needs to be. And the thing of, I'm going to impress him, and he go see how the progress and things like that. Dr. Now, he's seen you before.
Yeah.
He's seen a 700-pound man before. He's seen a 700-pound woman before. You are no different. And guess what? The surgery ain't going to be no different than him cutting into hundreds and hundreds of people a year. So that already lets me know, like, what is this? It kind of let me look at the brother, too. Because I'm like, he ain't making his own protein tape. He ain't making his own protein shakes.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So the brother ain't doing his job as a caretaker or caregiver. He may be doing his job as a brother and maybe a friend, but he ain't doing his job of trying to keep him on track. But it did make me think, like, he needed some type of some type of reward system with Charles or something like that.
Yeah.
It kind of came off as I don't want to say immature, but it just came off as like, you know, he needs constant pat on the heads. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Well, Charles said he's not going to sit here and be talked down to by Dr. Now.
Okay.
He tells him the interview's done. Take all cameras out my house.
Get out. Well, the house I stay in, yes.
So month 5, because Charles kicked us out. He is still asking for protein shakes from his brother.
He is.
And his brother is still giving them to him.
Caretaker.
He doesn't think Dr. Now had his head on straight the last time they talked.
Of course not.
But he still wants Dr. Now's help. He hasn't heard from his clinic, so he really doesn't know if Dr. Now will accept him into the program. His new plan that he came up with his brother and his sister to prove how serious he is to surprise Dr. Now at his clinic. And he says that he's been doing more recently, and he's been going outside a lot more.
So he go do a pop-up?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
We see him walk outside.
Yeah.
He tells us he sits in his wheelchair, smokes his cigarettes, hangs out with the neighbors.
I don't think smoking's in that diet plan, but okay.
And he's just been getting out more, and it's been helping his mood. He says he's going fishing. He has a camping trip planned. He's hoping his body will be strong enough in a month to get on a plane to see Dr. Now. His brother wheels him back into the house. Month 6. Today, he's going fishing and having a picnic with his brother.
Okay.
He thinks he made a year's progress within the past couple of months.
What?
He says he's feeling better because he's getting out more.
Now, watch this for a second, just in case, because I know Blair's reading the notes and things of that nature, and you probably was like, I probably missed it. But you didn't miss it. We don't know his starting weight.
No.
I want you to keep that in mind. We do not know his starting weight.
No.
So, damn, we don't even know his age, really. Right. You get what I'm saying? But really, we don't know his starting weight. So he's saying the progress that he believes he made, he don't even know the starting point.
Right.
But he believes he did a year of work in a couple of months. He still can't walk, really. He waddles. You get what I'm saying? He still's out of breath. You get what I'm saying? He's still in a wheelchair most of the time. So I really don't know what he understands what a progressive year at his size looks like.
Right.
And we're already in month 6. Really, by month 6, if he's losing close to, what, 40 pounds a month?
Or 50 pounds every 2 months. He should be hundreds of pounds down.
So I'm like, I don't think you there, buddy. But okay, we don't know the starting weight.
Right. Him and his brother eat sandwiches and fruit for lunch before they start fishing. He's proud of how far he's come. He walks down to the water to fish. He sits in a wheelchair. Sometimes he wonders if he'll even need to see Dr. Now with how well he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
The brother is saying that he's walking a greater distance. He's less short of breath and basically big up in his brother.
Yes. Mind you, he have to be brother, friend, best friend, caretaker. Who do you think was talking right then and there?
Brother.
The brother was talking, maybe even the best friend was talking with the credentials of a caretaker. How do you know he's better?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why it's like, it's too close to comfort for me.
Mm-hmm. Month 7.
Yeah.
He's getting on a flight to head to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a visit with Dr. Now? No.
He doesn't.
No.
He's just going to Houston.
We're just going to Houston.
Mm-hmm.
He's in line for security, and we see that they actually have to move the barriers in order for the wheelchair to fit because he's so wide.
Mm-hmm.
He's worried if he'll even be able to sit in the seat.
Mm-hmm.
He gets through the flight. He actually had to wear a diaper because he wasn't sure how he was going to make it to and from the bathroom on the flight. And he's looking forward to getting this diaper off. He formulated a plan to surprise Dr. Now at the clinic.
Yeah.
Now that they're in Houston, he's thinking, maybe I should call them ahead.
No, don't call.
Just in case he might be busy.
You already in Houston now.
Let alone Dr. Now probably has surgery days where he's not in the office.
Maybe he's not in the office. It's 100%.
Where he's doing surgeries all day. If he's even in the office today. So he's like, maybe I should give him a call.
Yeah.
So he calls Dr. Now's office. Thankfully, he does get him on the phone. He tells him that he came to Houston to surprise him. I'm here. Dr. Now says, you missed your appointment at the local clinic. You didn't do that. And when I followed up with you, you hung up on me. What makes you think that what you're doing is a good idea? He says he doesn't know. Dr. Now says the problem is that you're not listening to what we're telling you. He says he has lost a lot of weight. Dr. Now says, I doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
You would have done what you were supposed to do instead of coming up with half-baked ideas. He's at risk of having blood clots with flying as long as he was, being the size he was.
That's why he said, I want you to go to the local clinic.
Right. And he would have told him not to come because it's not safe for you to travel.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Now says because you made it to the flight, that doesn't really mean anything. That's not a huge accomplishment.
It's not.
Because he's over here trying to say, well, I made it on the plane. I got through the plane. That's not our goal, sir. He says, we'll try to do a checkup for you this afternoon. Well, the brother thought it went better than he would have thought. Brother thought Dr. Now wasn't going to see him. So brother, best friend, caregiver. Did you tell him this before y'all got on the plane?
I mean, he sure had to buy a ticket because the brother don't work.
But I'm saying, did the brother tell him, I don't think this is a good idea? Maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe we should schedule a visit. But or did you just go along with the plan until you got to this point and we're just like, dang, I didn't think he was going to see you?
Of course he went with the plan. Like, he's the brother.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing about it. The beautiful thing. Because Charles over here thinking, like, Dr. Now just mean. He just mean to me and things like that. This right here should prove to you that Dr. Now is probably one of the nicest people on earth. And y'all probably like, Chris, what do you mean? Because eventually in the next scene, Dr. Now did fit him into the schedule after hours. Let me tell you something about pop-ups. Nobody like pop-ups, right? Listen here. I know y'all don't have to say it, right? I'm a handsome guy, right? And during my time back in the day, people used to pop up on me. And the thing that is so interesting about the pop-up is that the one who is popping up think they hold the power. They think, like, I'm just going to show up and then I'm going to surprise you. But then they get a big surprise when I don't open the door. And I leave them where they are.
Right.
The power is always in the person who's on the other side of the door. I had people pop up on me before. I had women pop up on me before. I left them outside. You don't do pop-ups. Like, no. So it's so interesting that he thought it was a good idea and that he thought he had the element of surprise.
Right.
If I was Dr. Now, that's why I said Dr. Now is nice. If I was Dr. Now, I have the element of surprise. You will not see me today. It's like, so you should go. Actually, you should go back home, and because technically, I don't even have to check to see if you got blood clots because you're not on. Last time we talked, I was talking to you. Then all of a sudden, I was talking to my screensaver. I don't know what happened. I think you closed the laptop on me because I saw it dim. I saw the lights dim a little bit. Yeah. So my whole thing is, no one likes pop-ups, and the fact that he think with his hubris feelings about himself, like, oh yeah, I made all this progress. It's like, bro, like, I don't think you live in the real world. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
And just for me, if I'm going to work at 5, 6 a.m., because I'm sure Dr. Now gets there early, maybe 7 or so, depending on if it's his surgery day or not.
Forget that.
You telling me I got to stay after 5, 6 o'clock, and then I got to be up the next morning to do the same thing? That is so inconsiderate of Dr. Now's time. That is so inconsiderate. Yeah, Dr. Now's a saint. Well, Charles gets to Dr. Now's office after hours.
Yeah.
He weighs in at 677.8.
Did you think he lost any weight at that point?
No.
Really?
I don't.
Okay.
Apparently, he thought he was over 700 pounds, so he thought it was a good weight. He thinks he lost about 30 to 40 pounds, but, we don't know because he never went to the clinic.
True.
So, he thinks coming to Houston will impress Dr. Now more than just the pounds themselves.
Pounds don't impress. Listen, he did not get into this business to be impressed. You know what I'm saying? He likes the surgery part, okay?
Dr. Now tells him that he should not have made that trip. He says, you either weren't as big as you thought, or maybe you did lose some weight. He says, I lost some weight.
Of course, you would go with that option.
They run tests to make sure he doesn't have any issues that would push his body to the limit when it comes to flying back. Everything turned out fine, and Dr. Now tells him that you can travel home. But Dr. Now says, if you want to be a part of this program, you need to lose the weight and listen. All this other stuff, I don't know what you're doing. With little or no weight loss in 7 months, he doesn't think he's going to stick to the plan. Dr. Now talking to us. Or talking to them. Brother thinks that he's doing well. He's like, he's doing well. He's moving more. He's doing a lot better. Dr. Now says, your goal is to lose 80 pounds in 2 months. We'll set up a visit at your local clinic. No more surprise visits. So, of course, they got to stop to eat.
Of course. I'm hungry.
Yeah, they leave the doctor's office. They stop at a barbecue restaurant.
I think this the next day. Because
I think it was later that day. Because they were leaving the next day. Because I thought, no, it was the next day. Because what happened was they wanted to explore the city that day, but they crashed. They leave the next day at night. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Their flight was at 8 p.m. that the next day. So when they woke up the next day, they went out to explore Houston to see what it's like and things like that.
Yeah, see where he might live.
And then they went to go grab something to eat.
Yeah. Well, he didn't like anything that he saw in Houston.
Okay.
He is for sure not wanting to move to Houston.
Okay, Mr. Washington. Washington is so amazing.
Well, when they get to the barbecue restaurant, he orders a turkey sandwich. He has about 3 different sides. He says he's going to lose 40 pounds over the next 2 months to prove to Dr. Now he's committed to get the surgery. He already not listening. He's like, Dr. Now gave you his 2 requirements: listen and lose the weight. You're not listening, and you planning on not losing the weight. What is happening here? I don't know. Month 8. Brother comes in and asks if he needs an energy drink. Hold on.
I think energy drink is on the list.
I don't think energy drink is on the list.
It has to be on the list.
Let me tell you why I don't think it's on the list.
This is the caregiver. The caregiver is not giving me energy drinks.
I'm telling you why it's not on the list. Number 1, Dr. Now is concerned about this man's heart giving out because of his size. Dr. Now is concerned of the man's heart giving out or getting blood clots with him being at his size, being on a plane, because that's adding more stress to his body. Now, class, does the energy drink add stress to your body?
It gives me
and
energy.
Your heart?
Give me energy.
Yes.
Okay.
So no, I don't think that's on a plan, and I actually think that's dangerous for him. His brother gives him boxing gloves, and it looks like Charles don't even want to put the gloves on. But the brother's like, just try them on. That'll be your workout. Just try the gloves on.
Okay.
So he tries them on. He says he likes sparring with his brother. His brother has him do a little 10 punch, and then they take the gloves off. He says he's been studying Dr. Now's book. The brother says that he has been motivating Charles to work out. Him and the brother decide that they are going to grill some dinner. He says it also helps him with getting out the house. The brother says that he's moving around better and he is less out of breath.
You see, here's the thing about this, right? Better is different than moving around, right? Meaning that I think the brother is getting better confused with now he's moving around.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So he automatically takes better as, at first he wasn't moving at all. There was one point in the episode in the beginning where he was like, it was one point where he didn't look outside or been outside in a month and things like that. So that means he just basically stayed in his room, didn't move, didn't do anything. So when the brother see him at least walking, he sees that as better.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But I'm like, I don't think better is the word that we should use here. I do like the fact that he is walking, even though every time he walks, I feel like he's going to fall.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But walking is better than not walking.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So like,
laying in the bed all day.
I get
night.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of hard for me, or rather the brother, to use better as the metric when there's things to let you know when things are better. And let's start with the losing 80 pounds. Right. You get what I'm saying?
So they decide they're going to grill some hot dogs.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. Month 9, he heads to the local clinic for his weigh-in. Charles weighs in at 604.9. He lost 73 pounds.
He surprised me.
Good job, Charles.
He surprised me because I was like, boy, you about to be 700 pounds.
Yeah. Great job, Charles. Dr. Now is glad that he made progress.
Congrats.
He gives Charles 2 months to move to Houston. He says during that 2-month time frame, you'll need to lose 40 pounds. Then within the next month, we'll go ahead and get you set up for surgery. Dr. Now tells him to increase his activity and keep up the diet.
You see, I love this because I love good stories to where they surprise us. I love good stories to where I'm like, he's going to gain weight, and he lost basically 80 pounds. 73, it's not 80, but I'm like, I'm so happy now he can go home, focus on packing his bags, get ready to move to Houston, probably go back to that barbecue place he went to and things of that nature. But he's on the path, and now we on our way to the promised land. Keep going, Blair.
Well, Charles seems to agree with Dr. Now on the phone. As soon as that phone hangs up, he says he ain't moving to Houston.
What happened?
He says he'll go there for his recovery, but that's it.
What? No. What? What do you mean your recovery?
Month 10. He's struggling with being motivated because he's not planning to move to Houston. He has chicken and steamed veggies for dinner. He's nervous about the surgery. He doesn't want to move to Houston again, but he does do his workout.
Wait. He don't want to move to Houston? What do you mean?
Right. Month 11. He decided not to move to Houston.
Oh, my goodness.
He doesn't want to move away from his family, and he actually gets pretty teary-eyed and says that it'll really break his heart to leave his family. He has a telemedicine appointment with Dr. Now, and he tells Dr. Now that he will not be moving. He wants to know if he can have the surgery in Seattle, if Dr. Now can make an exception. Sir, my office is in Texas. So you're asking me to perform a surgery out of Seattle at a hospital that I don't work at? What? Dr. Now says no. He'll have to continue the program and lose the weight on his own if he's deciding not to come to Texas. Dr. Now is not surprised at his decision. He thinks he can make up his own rules, but that's not what's happening. That is not what is going to be happening here. Dr. Now wishes him the best. Dr. Now is not optimistic about him losing the weight.
Why is he not optimistic? What are your thoughts, Blair?
Yeah, my thoughts is Charles really needed therapy. I think Charles needed them therapy visits from the jump in order to somebody to help ground him into reality, because even though the brother, would I consider him an enabler? Sure. Yeah, I would consider him an enabler. So I think he needs somebody who will actually tell him the real. Dr. Now was trying to do it, but he wasn't hearing it from him. So maybe a more therapeutic approach by a therapist might help him come to light. But at the end of the day, he wasn't living in reality. So I really don't know what's in store for Charles.
Well, he can't live in reality. Like I said before, he was stuck in the house, haven't been outside. In the early episode, they said he stayed inside for a month. So the world is already a wild place to him. It's not realistic. He haven't had a job, or he doesn't have a job, rather. So there's already a touch of reality that isn't there for him, right? But I will ask this question. In the comments below, I want y'all answers too, because I'm not only talking to Blair, and I'm definitely not only talking to this camera that we're just talking to ourselves. I'm talking to y'all. So I need y'all in the comments below. How do you feel about Dr. Now making his patients move to Houston? What are your thoughts on that, Blair?
I feel fine with it. That's where he lives. If they want to work with Dr. Now, then they should move to Houston. Now,
I have a house in New York. My family is in New York.
Then see a doctor in New York.
I don't know how much money you think I have. I don't know why you think I could just pick up my life and just move to Houston for these months and things of that nature. Why is it acceptable to you, Blair, that they have to move to Houston
because
for the surgery?
Because the show is based on Dr. Now. Dr. Now lives in Texas, and the people need to move to Texas, one, for all of their pre-op stuff, their surgical needs, their recovery, and then if there are any complications that can happen months after surgery, you need to be close to the doctor and to the surgeon. So those are all the reasons. Now, I would say Dr. Now's office, they could possibly be helpful in saying, here is like a weight loss surgeon in your area. If you decide you no longer want to work with me, that you can still work with somebody else. But if they want to work with Dr. Now, they need to go with where he is.
Yes. With me, I know that's the right answer. Right? But I like this answer that I came up with. I think if your life is on the line, let me see how important it is to you. Like, of course, that's the real answer. What Blair gave is the technical answer. I'm the doctor. Listen here, I'm just not licensed to just go to your state and just do surgery. Move, everybody. I'm Dr. Now. I'm doing surgery in Orlando, Florida. Like, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So the right answer is what Blair said. But I like this answer as a recreational, take it with a grain of salt type of answer.
Okay.
Where I'm like, hey, if you're really serious about your life, about this body that's about to give out, and you like, I just can't get up and move because my family's here and it will break my heart. What's going to happen first? What can you recover from? A body that decides to give out or a broken heart that you can go to therapy for? Your body, I think your family wants you to get better. So I think Dr. Now be putting people in these positions outside of the fact that, for one, it's convenient for him. Dr. Now ain't a 40-year-old doctor, by the way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I think it puts people in positions to be like, hey, if it's your condition is serious. How serious it is to you? Get in a car and drive 15 hours. How serious it is to you? Move to Houston. Because the surgery, I'm going to do the surgery, right? And whatever the production pays for, I don't know. I don't know the behind the scenes. But, hey, listen here. You're going to die.
Yeah.
And how serious is it? How serious is it to you that you need to move to Houston? And to Charles, I can say, wasn't that serious to him?
And I can also say another part of going into your grain of salt answer.
Yeah, it's very grainy.
Is I'm going to pluck you from your day-to-day. And you're going to have to not be around your enablers. You're not going to be around the food spots that you usually hit up.
Your family and things like that. Yep.
You're going to be totally, in a way, isolated and focused on your health. And hopefully that is also going to be a mindset shift for you.
Hopefully.
So interesting.
Hopefully.
But I do want to mention, and I'm not a huge fan of comparing folks because everybody has their own journey. But I just want to point out that our guy who...
Oh, don't say our guy, because I don't know what guy you about to say. Okay?
Our guy on the other episode of... what show was it? 600 Pound Life, who came from a different country, who ended up in a car accident and was paralyzed in a bed, somehow had a job.
Okay.
Charles, why don't you have a job?
He was a drug addict and he's an ex-convict.
Oh. Okay. I'm like, why he couldn't get a job like homeboy?
He's an ex-convict and he was a drug addict.
You know what?
I'm thinking you about to really hit me with something, but I was like,
no, you're right.
Add that salt to my salt right there, okay?
Okay, yeah, my point. You just kind of like pooped on my point.
No, I just added the salt. Anything else on this episode, Blair, before you start giving us more salt and stuff?
Nothing pertinent.
Listen here. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment, and we will see y'all. I think there's a new episode next week. If not, we will see y'all again with the other shows we do and things of that nature. Anything else, Blair?
That's it.
Y'all be good.
Bye.